whiskey style.
You're out here on like the outskirts. Like people even from the country, like not everybody gets to come here. Like most people don't even know what the Far East is about.
Yeah, one of the things I've realized, I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm realizing now that we're going more places in Russia than most of you will ever go in your life, and you're Russian. It's overwhelming and it's unbelievable, and it's a true honor for me. But, you're right, I've been thinking about this, so go ahead.
Well, my question is, you know, like especially from a standpoint of an American, because like, you know, things you see about us and our country on the TV and like the news and stuff, it's, you know, far from reality. I'm sure you know that already. So are these places that you're, you know, going through in our country right now, like are the people and the places meeting your like expectations sort of?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed at all. Anywhere I've gone, anything I've done.
Not in terms of disappointment, but like what?
I don't have any expectations.
No.
I expect people to be humane and to have respect for one another and good morals, and just be good human beings. Some of the greatest literature, art of all time has come from Russia. You know, and the Russians are first people in space. Clearly, it's a very high intellect and very creative place. So me coming to Russia, I don't believe everything I see in the news, because I've been fortunate enough to be in Limp Bizkit to go around the world, and unfortunately the news is manipulated to favor whoever's opinion. And I find Russia to be very interesting, and I really like the people a lot. The most different thing I've noticed is the sense of humor. The sense of humor in Russia is very different than where I'm from. And I love jokes, and I love making jokes, and I love being a jokester and being silly all the time. It takes a minute to do it with some of my Russian friends because their jokes are very different.
Come on! Put your head like this, come on! Come on, come on! Yeah! I like that Ruski dance! Limp Bizkit!
Russia, from my perspective, in my growing up in America, Russia has been somewhere that isn't. They don't educate us a lot on Russia the way I think we should be educated, you know? And so there's just so many opinions and so many different things, you know, me being from America, but that's where I was born. And as you're born in Russia, you know, but still the earth is one place and we're all walking on the same thing. You know, we created the boundaries and the territories. I think it was a man-made thing that's forced. When reality is we're very lucky to even still be a species on this planet. And we're going to end up destroying ourselves, sadly enough, very soon. And if I can be a portal into someone's mind or someone's perspective and help them see more clear that the walls between us are not very thick, that we're, to some extent, we're the same. We're just playing ridiculous games for a long time. And if I could just, all my friends that I say that I go to Russia and they're like, oh shit, what the fuck, it must be crazy, it's fucking, I'm like, no, you're fucking crazy. It's not crazy. I mean, what do you think it's like? It's like it is here, except for they're Russian and they have different history, much more history. We're a very young country, as you know. So, you know, when you're in Russia, you feel something enormous, not only historically, but just, it's very big, it's very powerful. And the Russian community seems to care a lot. And we have a lot of pride. In America, a lot of people you talk to aren't talking about America. They're just talking about whatever's going on. And one thing I love about Russia is that most people are talking about Russia, that are from Russia. It's very cool.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Biscuit style.
I hate press, but I also believe it's necessary. And I've been a victim of some really interesting moments in press. You expose yourself like I do right now to be edited by you, to be delivered as you see fit. It's very interesting.
Isn't that part of the pricey application?
Hey man, I'm not complaining. I don't have to like it though, you know. But I'm not complaining ever. I'm very grateful. Yeah, when I hear of other artists or people complaining or blaming people for things, I think it's pathetic. I think we're so fortunate. We've been doing this 20 years. And this is the most exciting time of my entire career so far, right now, in this moment. It's unbelievable. But this is the part I don't like. Press. It's not your fault.
Just curious, like, you know, the style, both visually and musically, is it something that sort of like, is it something sort of made up collectively? Like, as a collective effort, or is it more like, you know, each one of you sort of throws in their part and it all kind of blends together and, you know, in the end just kind of randomly comes together?
For what?
For music.
For the sound of the music?
Yeah, like the riffs and, you know, bass parts and the drums and everything.
Each person brings their ability into a room. And I personally picked every single person in this band individually, because of their sensibility, because of the character that they were and are, and the presence and talent that they have for a vision that I had. These guys are masters at their craft. I'm a composer. I'm a producer. I'm an editor. I'm a filter. My job is to have a reaction and to guide the ship. And when I hear something I like, or if I want to hear something, to express myself, to say exactly what I want to hear, or to listen to what my artists are doing and to guide them. And I love this, yeah, keep doing this. Or no, something like this, and a change like this, and a beat like this, and a feel like this. And so I'm sort of like a producer. You know, I produce all the music.
You're the composer, basically.
Yes, and then after, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This sounds so cool. Like I'm a b-boy, I'm a skateboarder, I'm a all these different things, and it sounds like it's an urban rock experience because it's supposed to be urban. And then I go, shit, I have to write the lyrics. I wish another singer could come in and I could produce the singer and compose the singer. You know, a composer is very good at conducting and directing his musicians. But when you have to perform yourself, it's very weird. So I'm put in a corner at the end of the day after I'm produced the music to now produce myself as a singer. And so it's very frustrating. And so that frustration is what has put the voice to Limp Bizkit. That's all that's happening. I don't have a plan. I'm just reacting to my situation. So Limp Bizkit was created that way. So Limp Bizkit's just a reaction all the time. So we like it when people talk shit because at the end of the day, these guys are monsters. And if you know what a monster is, that means you're a monster. It takes one to know one. And when you see these guys, they're very good at what they do. And just a group of monsters up here, you know, hopefully relating to other monsters. Sometimes we can't control who gets or reacts or likes or embraces our music. It's not our responsibility. Because there's a lot of people who embrace the music who I would never approve of. But when a painting from an artist goes in the gallery and someone buys it, and that artist doesn't have much control over who owns it and puts it up in their living room, you know? But once again, it's not something I had to learn to let go. I used to take it personal, to care too much. Wrong people are liking the music. You know, people tortured me my whole life and bullied me and beat me up and treated me like shit. Now some of these people are the people that like Limp Bizkit. What the fuck is going on? But I learned to not let it bother me. It just took me a while. It took some time in the mid-2000s. Just kind of said, you know what? I gotta let it go. Once you give it out, it's my fault for giving it out. I didn't have to put the music out, but I did. So I'm the only one I can blame. So I just sort of figured out how to let it go. And magically, we're here. Other than that, I don't really have an explanation for anything. I guess it's a theory in the making. Maybe. Maybe I'll have an answer one day when I grow up.
Cool. Rex, what I thought was I'll have Gabe come out because he knows a lot of the cues, and if you guys kind of team up a little, it might help some familiarity on some of the couple of the jams. But if you don't feel good with it, it's cool too.